You know that the book, A Tale of Two Cities?
I've heard of it.
I never read that, but this would be, if this was a book, it would be The Tale of Two Weak Sauce Bourbons.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are back with another double-blind head-to-head where we have no clue what is in our glass, but we have drawn this pairing at random from our sample pool. We're going to nose them, taste them, let you know what we think about them, and then we'll find out the price and see if that changes what we think about them before we ever find out what we're drinking. A little bit of a backwards way of doing things, but we think it gives you the most honest opinions possible.
Yes.
If you're new here and you like that sort of thing, if it sounds good to you, think about subscribing and click that thumbs up down there to like the video while you're at it. That helps a ton. And if you're a return viewer, we always appreciate you guys. We appreciate our Patreon community.
Yes.
We appreciate all of it and being part of this silly ride with us. So let's get right into glass one.
Let's do it.
See what we're working with
on
the nose.
This smells like fake sugar.
Yeah. No, it smells like...
I don't like it.
It smells like a lollipop or something.
Yeah, but like a lollipop made with like aspartame or something. Like not real sugar.
I can see there. It's coming across really fruity, candy sweet to me. Concentrated sugariness. And it's got a little bit of oak in there, but the predominant thing is the fruity, sweet candiness of it.
Yeah.
So let's get it on the palate and see what we're working with.
Oh, wow. It's not as sweet as I expected it to be based on how sweet it smelled. It's pretty light on flavor. I'm getting not a lot of flavor. Oak, maybe?
Yeah. So on the nose, it was quite fragrant. I didn't say that. Like it was really jumping out of the glass with the sweetness.
It was very sweet. It smelled like a sugar bomb, like a fake sugar bomb.
Yeah, not on the palate. It's the sweetness is there, but it is so tempered down and it's kind of watery. Take another drink,
Okay, there is some sweetness still there. Again, kind of like a saccharin, aspartame, like a chemical sweetness, but it's like very light on flavor, very thin, like viscosity.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
I would say it's probably lower proof, like in the 90s range. Not that we're trying to guess, but just saying the drinking experience. It's coming across like it's in the low to mid 90s. There is some oak there, which is kind of surprising.
It's light.
Yeah, and the sweetness that's there is that fake kind of artificial candy sweetness that you get like out of cheap candy. It's not good. It's like a blow pop sweetness or something, you know, like it's that type of thing.
Which there is a time and a place for that. So it's not intrinsically bad, but I think for me, I just was so surprised with how sweet it smelled, like sickeningly sweet.
And it's just, you know what, that's the first one of this matchup.
Yeah.
Let's get into glass two and see how it compares. We will take some time, but we just want to give you our first impressions right now. So glass two on the nose.
This smells sweet, but in a more like a caramel way. It smells like a caramel candy, caramel chew.
This smells very similar to glass one to me, but you're not wrong either. It dials back the fruity, artificial candy sweetness, amps up the caramel, but
it smells very sweet.
Right, the fruitiness that's there is kind of the same. Like I'm envisioning something that is like if you tried to bite into it, it would dang near crack your teeth. Like it's that hard blow pop red color, almost like a I don't know if that's watermelon, like an artificial watermelon flavor plus artificial cherry.
I'm not getting that on this second one. I would say that I got on the first one, but
yeah, this is really interesting. I would say glass one smells a little, I just went back to glass one on the nose at least, and it definitely smells more bright. This smells a little darker, richer,
a little more
deeper,
like a caramelized aspartame. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not quite as fragrant as the first one, but it does smell very good. Let's get it on the palate.
Also very light on flavor. What is the flavor?
The nose translates exactly for me. Fruity sweet, it does have that in it. But then the caramel is amped up, and now as it's sitting on the finish, it's just turning into that fruity sweetness and a little bit of oak on the finish as well. These remind me a lot of each other, and that's weird. I don't know if the second one maybe is a little older or something.
I think there's more. I'm getting more drying oak on the second one.
Yeah, and it has those darker flavors that you would get from more aging, potentially.
Yeah.
But they're both very light. They're very thin.
The viscosity is very watery in texture.
You know, and that's what we're saying because we tend to like a lot of flavor and a lot of concentration of flavor, and you particularly like to have a lot of balance. Both of these are fairly balanced for what they are, but
That's
they're
true.
just thin.
Yeah.
You know, if you were going to compliment these glasses, you would say they have a silky texture to them. For us, they're just kind of thin and lacking.
Yeah.
At least it seems right now.
Yeah.
But we are just getting into this. We're going to take some time with both glasses, clear our palates, start with the second glass, go back to the first, compare them, give them each a fair shake,
Yep.
and then we'll be back with our full thoughts here in just a minute. All right, we're back.
Yes.
We spent some time with these. What'd you
did.
think?
I'm confused because
Really?
the more I tasted these, the flavor of each of them changed for me. So, glass 1 in flavor became a little more earthy,
Okay.
which was bizarre and strange. I didn't expect that. And then glass 2 became more fruity sweet. I don't know where I fall with these, to be honest with you. I'm going to give them both thumbs up because I'm judging them for what they are. I want to caveat my thumbs ups by saying they're probably a little lower proof than I would typically tend to gravitate toward, but for what is seemingly 2 low proof pours, they are good for what they are. And I don't know how to pick a favorite between the two because their flavors morphed when I was tasting them. So they both get a thumbs up under those conditions.
Okay, that's fair. I judge based on my own personal preferences. So for these two, they're both good. They're both fine for what they are. Seemingly low proof, sweet bourbon. So if you like that combination of things, then either one of these are more than serviceable. They're good, solid pours. I'm going to give them both a just okay.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because this isn't the type of thing I gravitate toward. I could see this having a serviceable position. Well, now that I'm saying it 3 times, it's starting to sound...
Words are hard,
Well,
aren't
no,
they?
it's starting to sound like we might need to change the rating on the channel. But for me, you know, like a hot day, summertime, it's the thick of the summer now when you're watching this.
Or if you're
You know, it
new
could be
into the
hot.
hobby and you don't, if high proof whiskeys are too hot for you.
Right.
I was talking to somebody at work
Yes.
recently who was like, oh, I had this whatever and it was 130 proof and it was way too hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I get that.
That's a good point. So if you are newer and you want to get into sweet bourbon flavors and watch these be ryes or something.
I think
But-
one might be a rye, maybe.
But
Maybe.
if you want sweet bourbon-y type of flavors that are generally approachable, then either one of these are serviceable. They're just not what I typically go for. So just okay to me doesn't mean I don't like it. I think they're both fine. I like them both.
Just okay to you doesn't mean it's not good.
Right.
It means to you, you don't
Just
like
means
it
I could
as
take it or leave it.
much as some other things.
Right. And
Yeah.
for us, we say we're a real world channel for the real whiskey consumer. It comes back to whether we would buy it or not. And as far as owning both of these bottles go, you know, I wouldn't be mad at owning them, but I also don't have to have a bottle of either one.
That's fair.
Once
Yeah,
we
yeah.
find out the price, that could change. And that's what we're going to do right
Yep,
now.
let's do it.
So we're going to pull our key up.
Got it.
And in our key, glass number 1 is number 31.
Alrighty. I used to be 31 years old. That was a fun age.
It's a long time ago.
It was 10 years ago to be exact.
All right. So price on glass number 1.
It's $50.
Oh, I mean, I'm not a hard pass because I don't think it's not a good whiskey.
Yeah.
I just don't think I would buy it for that. So it's hard for me to say.
So I think we need to caveat this by saying Josh and I...
Did you have a preference? I prefer glass 2.
Oh, I did not have a preference. I
Okay.
couldn't tell. I want to caveat whatever we're saying here for people that may be newer to the channel or newer to the hobby, that Josh and I typically drink higher proof bourbons, 1 teens and above. So something that is maybe lower than 100 proof is just not going to light our fire. So
Yeah, it's
take
hard to
that
get excited about low proof bourbon.
take that into consideration when you're listening to what we're saying. So I just wanted to say that. So $50.
I'm just okay. Are you staying thumbs up?
I'm actually going to just okay, just because it isn't something I would rather spend $50 on a little higher proof for me personally.
Yeah, I'm probably
it's good, but it's not for me.
I'm probably not going to buy a bottle, but if we have a bottle, and we probably do if it's in the pool here,
Yeah.
I'm fine having it. I don't feel like I got ripped off. I just probably won't buy another one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Glass number 2, what's the price?
$80.
Okay. I think it tastes older. I think it tastes better.
It does taste a little older. At the same time, though, I don't know if that's... I think I'm changing to just okay for that as well, just because that's a lot of money to spend for me on something that doesn't have bigger flavor.
Yeah. I'm going to stay just okay as well. Again, I'm not mad at it. It does seem to have some age. Just for $80, I just tend to want a little bit more proof. If either of these are over 100 proof, then our palates are broken and you should discontinue watching this video at the moment.
I would be surprised.
Glass 2 is good. It brings in some oak to balance out the sweetness.
There's more oak in Glass 2. And again, like I said, for me, Glass 2 got sweeter as I drank it, which was weird. And Glass 1 got a little more earthy as I drank it, which was also unexpected. So I kind of liked it.
Let's find out what we're drinking. Glass number 1
31.
is...
Tin Cup 10 year.
Well, the low proof makes sense.
It is 84 proof.
Wow. Wow. Okay, what's glass number 2?
Van Winkle Lot B. And this is 90.4 proof. Now, just the name Van Winkle, this is hard to find. Is this a sample? This isn't a bottle we have, right?
Oh man, this is too good. Yeah, this sample is from Bill Kavanaugh.
Okay.
WJK in the comments or the chat if you tune into our live streams, which by the way, hit that bell down there. It will let you know when we're going live.
Yeah.
We do live streams once a month. Tune in. It's a ton of fun. This is fantastic because we're like, both of these were like, we don't really, they're not bad, but we don't need a bottle.
Yeah.
We don't really care if we have a bottle.
Well, and that checks out because this tin cup is 84 proof.
Right, but Lot B is what, 90?
90 proof.
90 proof? And people pay literally $800, $700, $800, $900 or $1,000 for this bottle.
But it's because it has
says
the Van Winkle
on it.
name on it. It's not necessarily, they're not paying, well, they don't know this, but they're not paying for what's in the glass. They're paying for the name. Some people know this, and some people are fine with it. And if you're fine with it, you do you.
That's actually a really good point. I want to highlight that. If you're buying Van Winkle products because you want to have a Van Winkle bottle, even though Tin Cup for you, it was a flip of the coin.
Yeah.
For me, I preferred the Van Winkle a little bit more.
A little darker
but, you know,
flavor.
You can get Tin Cup 14 year, which is even older than this, for $80. So yeah. I would assume it would probably be pretty comparable. But, you know, you're talking about a product that people pay nearly $1,000 for sometimes. And totally blind, removing the labels and the hype and everything, we tend to like really flavorful pours, and neither one of these really hit us great tonight.
Yeah.
For what they were good.
Yeah. For what we could tell was probably lower proof pour, they were good.
Yeah.
So if you like lower proof pours, then get yourself some Tin Cup 10 year and maybe get some Van Winkle if you got the hookup, but if not, you're not missing out.
But the reason I put this in our blind head-to-head pool was because Van Winkle Lot B 12 year is a very difficult bottle to find. You're not going to get it unless it's in a raffle or something.
Gotcha.
Or you're gonna pay an exorbitant amount of money.
Okay.
Or you have a hookup. Tin Cup 10 year, only 2 years younger, really did kind of hold its own. Let's be honest.
It did, but we both could tell that it was younger.
Yeah. Yeah, and it is a couple years younger, and it is a batch product, and this here is an annual release, supposedly crafted to a higher standard, but it didn't blow either of us away.
Yeah.
Certainly not enough to pay
the prices.
I would not pay over $100 for a bottle of this. If I could get a bottle of this at $100, I know it says 80 in there, and that's what MSRP is supposed to be, suggested retail price. If I could get a bottle of this at $100, I would get one just to have it. But I would not pay any more than that for it.
And may I ask you, why would you get one just to have it? Is it because it's Van Winkle?
Actually, because of, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys, just because of the value of it, the high value, if I could get one of these, even for maybe $1.99, I might buy it to trade it for something else of value.
Okay.
We do not sell bourbon. We don't resell at all. But if I could get my hands on a bottle of this and trade it for something
you do trades.
that is
Tradesies.
of higher value, I might do that. But honestly, I just can't bring myself. If I'm just going to buy it to drink it, I would not spend more than $100 for a bottle of this.
But you would spend up to $100 to buy this.
Yeah. And you know what I would do?
And drink it.
And you know what I would do?
What?
I would buy it for $100. I'd never, honestly, personally speaking, just would never reach for a bottle of this on my own, unless, again, it was a hot summer day, but I'm not reaching for this on a hot summer day.
But you would share it with people.
But when people come over to the house, this would be a great bottle to be able to,
especially if they're newer in their journey, or if like they're some of our family members who aren't into high proof stuff.
Right.
You would share it with them.
I would love to give them these two glasses right here, let them try them both, and I guarantee you, it would dispel some of the hype for them, and that's what I would buy the bottle for, because
Okay.
that would make for a very interesting experience. So
That's fair, yeah,
hopefully
I get that.
this video made for a very interesting watch for you.
That's it. Be good to each other, and until next time, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, and please don't pay $800 or $900 for Van Winkle.
I know. Well, it's the name. It's the name. Everyone has heard of Pappy Van Winkle. Like, I have even heard of Pappy Van Winkle, and I like wasn't even into whiskey before we started this channel.
I feel like if you're gonna spend that much money for something to like flex on social media, there's other things you could spend money on that are worth it, rather than
Like what?
this. Literally, just take $800 or $900 out of the bank and put it on the table next to you or something, and take a picture with it, and then put it back in the bank.
Put it back in the bank.
Don't spend it on this
You could put it in an index fund. That's what I do.
until the economic collapse, and then we're all in the same boat then.